You're listening to Skeptoid. I'm Brian Dunning from Skeptoid.com, a modern skeptic podcast host. Welcome to the show that separates fact from fiction, science from pseudoscience, real history from fake history, and helps us all make better life decisions by knowing what's real and what's not. People don't want to get bad news, unless it's happening to someone else. People want to get good news, or exciting news, or juicy news. When it comes to the kind of topics we cover on Skeptoid, fewer people are interested in the skeptical perspective than they would be in the credulous version. It would be much more exciting for me to say the moon landing was fake and the government covers it up, and here's how we managed to get this secret knowledge. That turns heads, including the heads of normally fact-based people who may not have heard the story before. But the skeptical version, where we basically say that no juicy cover-up happened, whose curiosity is piqued by that and gets excited to hear more? The answer is you. And much of the reason is that you know we do so much more than offer, quote, the boring perspective here on Skeptoid. If it's the moon landing, we talk about the history of the mythology and why it happened. If it's the why the latest supplement won't make you skinny and longer lived, we look at how we know that and how we can use those same tools to find the truth about other claims we might come across. The skeptical perspective is the useful one, and it's the one where all the real fun is. You just have to get past that initial boring old skeptic barrier to entry. So I'd like to say a little bit about how I personally view that conundrum, and at the same time, color that perspective with one of the most popular of recent listener topic requests, AI, or artificial intelligence. Generative AI is able to do things like create or expand a piece of artwork, or even create or change a human voice. With all of that in mind, here's the way I feel I can best articulate how and why I do what I do.
I am the very model of a modern skeptic podcast host who ruins all your fantasies and takes away your favorite ghosts. I tell you nothing's true and all your life till now has been a lie, and then the crowning moment when I challenge you to falsify. All around us pseudoscience, deepfakes, and conspiracy combined to leave our intellects impaired with deep deficiencies. The modern skeptic podcast is your friends as these intensify. You keep your brains from falling out with, else it might just liquefy. You keep your brains from falling out with, else it might just liquefy. You keep your brains from falling out with, else it might just liquefy. You keep your brains from falling out with, else it might just liquefy. A word of Bigfoot doesn't get you, then it will be Magdalon. If Messi doesn't eat what's left, a Civil War Pteranodon will carry your remains and feed them to a scary alien, or a Mormon, or a Scientologist, or alien. Oh, Dr. Oz and Alex Jones and Deepak Chopra supplicate for you to buy their supplements and magically self-medicate. The Skeptic Podcast warns you not to do your own lobotomy with Reiki, homeopathy, and rhino horn and CBD. They say that 9/11 was a globalist conspiracy, even though the notion lacks both logic and consistency. COVID truthers, JFK, and QAnon are standing by. With MK Ultra men unblock the reploids and their battle cry. With MK Ultra men unblock the reploids and their battle cry. With MK Ultra men unblock the reploids and their battle cry. With MK Ultra men unblock the reploids and their battle cry. Separating what is real from what is not is what we do for listeners everywhere, deceived by gibberish and ballyhoo. And so for every aspect of your life and those you love the most, I am the very model of a modern skeptic podcast host.
A great big Skeptoid shout-out to our premium supporters, including Rick Hodge, Nancy Alexi, David, who is walking his dog listening to this, and of course, Damo from Dalby in Queensland. Come and join me for our live Super Science Trivia on the last Tuesday of every month if you happen to swing through Bend, Oregon. And I'm giving my talk, The United States of Misinformation, at 2 locations, also in Central Oregon, coming up this November. To see my complete appearance calendar or to book your own event, come to skeptoid.com/events. And pick up an autographed Skeptoid book, mug, t-shirt, hoodie, and more in our online store. We've got all the Skeptoid swag at skeptoid.com/store. Skeptoid is a production of Skeptoid Media. Director of Operations and Tinfoil Hat Counter is Kathy Reitmeyer. Marketing guru and Illuminati liaison is Jake Young. Production management and all things audio by Will McCandless. Music is by Lee Sanders. Researched and written by me, Brian Dunning. You're listening to Skeptoid, a listener-supported program. I'm Brian Dunning from Skeptoid.com.